Hello, welcome to Laura's View and Tarot 2. I am really glad you're here. Today's date is Thursday, June 29th, 2023. I spent several hours today looking at news items and did a compilation that may show up as a second video later tonight. But I've learned as a person with some intuitive ability to listen to my intuition. And my intuition told me to go a little non-traditional in this video, and let's take a peek at the upcoming month of July 2023. Because as I was reading, I was noticing that there was a possibility of a US debt default. We know there's a lot of activity happening on the political front. I don't see how people can't notice that there's coded communications going on. And I think anybody can realize there's an information war. Just the fact that there are fact checkers out there that only check one side of the equation tells you that. So here's what I want to do. If I am using a spread that has an official name and I need to give credit to someone, I will be happy to do so. But I'm going to do a July comparison, the first half of the month and the second half of the month. We're going to do 5 cards in each row. Starting from left to right, the first card will be either a discussion of with the answer, overall answer, or just the situation and clarifying it a little further. Then we're going to look at hidden influences, which I don't usually touch on in my tarot reads that are political. And then we're going to look at advice and insights and possible outcome for that first half of the month, which is going to bleed into the second half. And that'll be the really important possible outcome one. So let's do that tonight without any compilation for you to refer back to or need to click on or learn more or homework you need to do. Let's just take a peek at July 2023. And again, we're going to split the month into 2 parts, and the first half and the second half, and just see what the universe wants to share, because it's unusual for me to get a nudge like this. And so I thought we could find out together what that nudge was all about and what the universe wants us to know. Just a moment, I'll switch the camera and you can watch me shuffle and we'll find out together. Okay, I'd like to be really specific about this. I am asking the universe for insights and information by way of a comparison of the first half of the month and the second half of the month, primarily for the United States, because I don't think we can expect 10 cards to give us global insights, although there may be some overall potential outcome that does apply well beyond our borders. So a 10 card comparison, 5 and 5, and let's see what the universe wants us to know. Okay, so the top row is going to be the first half of July, the 1st through the 15th. We have the 7 of Swords, 5 of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, Knight of Wands, the World. Now the second half of the month, we have the Tower, the Hanged Man, Knight of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, 3 of Wands. Well, this is interesting. Of course, any tarot read where you get some answers from the universe can be fascinating. The general answer here was the 7 of Swords for the first half of July, which means a time of waiting where, yes, we could rip the blindfold off and proceed, but whatever events happen are going to be happening kind of slowly, okay, at the first of the month. Now, those are going to cause people to, again, we've shown in previous reads, and it seems to be borne out in conversations I have with other people who are awake and aware of world situations, that more of us are willing to undergo a temporary discomfort, whether it's disclosures or information, or an interruption in conveniences, services, whatever, if it's for the greater good. Okay. Now, the third card's kind of interesting. That's hidden influences. Okay. We have the Queen of Cups showing up here. What I'm getting intuitively from the Queen of Cups is that this is going to be a time when we need to be looking beyond the narrative. We need to always be looking for the story that the distraction is keeping us from. And I've seen several excellent memes that they're all just trying to distract us from treason. So use your emotional intelligence, okay, to assess situations, news, and narratives. The Knight of Wands is showing up here for the advice card. He takes action, but he takes it, he can be a little bit reckless, but he takes advice well, he takes action. He's not afraid of a challenge, kind of a white hat type of card here. Okay, we're going to be seeing probably a little more military movements and things like that happening within our borders in this first half of July. Now we have the world showing up for the potential outcome of these events that are somewhat hidden, and some are going to be in plain sight, and some will need to use our logic to go, oh, that's what they're trying to keep us from thinking about or looking at or asking our legislators to focus on. The potential is a victory for the world. Beautiful card to show for potential outcome. Okay, now let's look at the second half of July. And again, we were predominantly looking at the United States, but with the understanding that the universe doesn't really recognize borders as much as we do. And so especially on the outcomes and the hidden influences, those can be things that extend well beyond our border. All right, we got the Tower showing up here starting on the 15th of the month or the 16th. A Tower moment is going to be the situation. So in this half of the month, there is going to be a major event happen. And the Tower moment is not one that happens behind the scenes. So let's be ready to have some major information come out in the second half of July. Okay, the Hanged Man is next to that, clarifying that a little bit. Whatever the situation is, we're going to be looking at some situations or people in an entirely new way. Now, he is not uncomfortable. That's kind of a guy with an aha moment going on here. Okay, it's kind of a yoga position. So he's not in distress. He is willingly doing this, looking at things in a new way. All right. So we're going to be, whatever this Tower moment is, whether it's another variation of the London Bridge event, maybe happening, in the Vatican or in my own shores, with 46, maybe a sudden, aneurysm and boom, gone. Whatever, we're gonna be looking at some things in a new way. Now, the hidden influences here, Knight of Cups, he is not a white hat card. He's tricky. He's false promises. He's a fraud card. Okay. They're going to be playing on your emotions. Remember, here in the first half of the month, we were told to watch use our emotions intelligently. Emotional intelligence is going to be important. I think that's going to carry into the second half of the month, because we're going to have some people that are going to try to misrepresent and lie about whatever the situation is. And with the Tower moment having so many sky elements in it, I wouldn't be surprised if it's something involving our skies, whether it is a blue beam project thing that happens or fizzles. Wouldn't that be great if they tried one and it fizzled? Kind of like with the Wizard of Oz when Toto pulled back the curtain and you see it's just this little guy. Wouldn't that be great? Or, truly something that is a natural type of event, natural, Earth type of event. So they're going to try to misrepresent it and lie about it. Absolutely. However, our advice here, Ace of Pentacles, we've got the Ace of Pentacles is a card of manifestation and prosperity and material success. So whatever they try to do isn't going to work out. In fact, for those of us, it's going to involve some enrichment of us in some way, in a tangible way. very tangible way. And by the end of the month, it's entirely possible that we'll be looking at our entire reality in an entirely new way. Because the Three of Wands is about setting out with a very clear sight of your destination, setting out on a new path. So let's recap. And I moved the camera just a little bit so you can see we do indeed have two furry co-hosts today, but they're kind of sleeping on the job. We were taking a peek ahead at the month of July, which we're just here in the United States, less than 48 hours away from starting. And we compared the first half of the month, the potential for the second half of the month. We got more major arcanas for the second half, and major arcanas tend to speak of events that are pretty well set. We got more minor arcanas with only one major arcana at the very end of our first half, which tells me that that's kind of, again, starting on the second half, there's going to be some potential for some huge changes. Let's look at what we got for general answer. The first half of the month was indicated with the Seven of Swords. That is a time of waiting, and it's usually voluntary because she's not in distress. So we've got some waiting happening for some events to be obvious on, you know, for us normies that aren't part of the confidentiality agreements and behind the scenes operations and things like that. So then we looked at towards the middle of the month, we were advised to, as events are reported to us, use our emotional intelligence and discern fact from fiction or glean truth from a mix. That's always good advice to do anyway. The Knight of Swords said that we maybe actually, and again, the focus was pretty much with the United States, understanding that we could have some things extended beyond our shores. And with the Knight of Wands, it looked like there was a possibility of a little more obvious troop movements, things like that within our shores. The first by the end, towards the middle of the month. And then we got a beautiful card for our potential outcome. Whatever's happening that's not in our face too much the first half of the month, the potential is a huge victorious world change. Then let's look at the middle of the month on. The first card that came up there was the Tower. So right at the middle of the month, we could have Tower moments happening that really, really change things for us. Okay. Our hidden influence, though, for the middle of the month, the card was the Knight of Cups, and he is kind of tricky and lies. So again, we've been told to use our emotional intelligence as we hear about events, or we get told that this is something, and we had a little chuckle that what if it was a Project Bluebeam that fizzled and you saw someone behind the controls? Possible, it's possible. Okay, so use your emotional intelligence and don't get tricked. All right. But we had a beautiful card showing up here for our advice, Ace of Pentacles, saying that this is a card of success and manifestation. Whatever's going on is going to be successful. Absolutely. And by the end of July, our potential is to be looking at some major things and be on a path that is entirely different than it was at the start of the month. So I thought that was fascinating, and it was nice to just kind of listen to my intuition and share it with you folks. And I hope you enjoyed that. Now, before I leave, you're welcome to go now. I'm not going to do any more tarot reading. I'm not going to give you any more advice. But about 2 months ago, no less than that, I opened up a P.O. box, which you can find listed on my about information for my channel. I've been receiving at that P.O. box some beautiful gifts, and I wanted to take a few moments and thank some people. I won't be using last names, but I might blend a location in with a name. And just thank some people, because either through my inefficiency, the first couple things I opened, I was so excited, I didn't think to write down the address, and some haven't had a return address. And just quite honestly, you know, there's some time limitations. So I'd like to thank a few people. So, but I did take the time with every gift to make a note of it. All right. The Herkimer diamonds that have been showing up, there was one in yesterday's read. They came in what I call a bonanza box, a beautiful box that was sent to me by Casey and David in New York. And they included even some gemstone gifts and beautiful things like that, even a little selection of items for my daughter and grandson. So wow, it was like opening up. They really know how to pack a box. Then Melissa C. She actually took a chance and mailed me cash, and she sent me some beautiful little gems that have been in a couple of my shows. The lapis lazuli elephant, a desert rose selenite, and the ruby, a little ruby. Colleen, who was one of my guests and shared some MMS information with us, just as a thank you gift, sent me a beautiful amber heart, which again has been on one of my tarot decoration tables in the last few weeks. Then Noelle I has sent me a hummingbird book and a really nice note. She's located in Scottsdale, Arizona, and she actually wrote that book and shared it with me. So thank you very much, Noelle. Then we have Carl and Chris. They sent me an Ace of Pentacles painting and a frame, homemade frame for it. It was just beautiful. They're in Scottsdale. So thank you, you two. I understand you may be the two that also attend each and every one of my meditations. So I look forward to getting to know you a little better. Then I have, I'm going to butcher this name because it's not American. I'll say Milat, M-I-L-A-T-D. She's in Israel, and she sent me some handmade soap that she made with me in mind, and a beautiful, beautiful candle. Okay, got one more page. Okay, Harley R. a business was used by Carol B to send me a selenite bowl, a rose quartz palm stone, and it was just beautiful. Thank you for both of those items, especially the selenite bowl. That's a very useful. Selenite is such a useful stone to have. I don't think you can have too much of it. One of my moderators, Tess Castro, since she shows up that way on the notes, I know in the comments, I know I can say her full name. Okay, she sent me a beautiful note, and in the past she has sent some other things, including some tuning forks that help on healing and help for getting food purified. So just a very, very thorough, and she does all of the singing bowls for us, and you can look back, and she is one of our subscriber spotlights we did back before she was a moderator. Okay, then we have Joanna L. in Lynbrook, New York, and she sent me some foreign currency so that if there's a revaluation, I can be part of having some foreign currency to convert. Right now in American dollars, it equals about 80 cents. It'll be exciting to see if that changes, if there's a revaluation that happens. From Audrey W., I got a tarot deck, and it was just gorgeous. And from Jacqueline H., I received a candle. One of them's up here. I have some soy candles, and she had heard me mention that I liked lemon, and she focused on citrus scents, and so I thank her for that. I feel like there might be one or two that that I haven't logged, and if so, it wasn't that your gift wasn't meaningful. I get excited like a kid at Christmas when I'm opening gifts, and I'll try to be better about matching up names and gifts. And I will I check that post office box weekly, and I'll start doing this more regularly. So if I don't have a way to contact you, or have a senior moment, just don't remember to, this way you'll have a moment to shine in the sun and know that I did receive your gift, and I do very, very much appreciate it. So that's it for this video. Thank you so much for your time and attention, and your patience when I mix things up a little bit and try something different. And I hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, I send you love and light and everything bright. Bye.